Hello, YouTube community. Welcome back to Robscure Music, where I talk about music that's out of the ordinary, if you will. Not only do I talk about it, I share the music with you, and a lot of times I just have the music, so you don't have to see me yapping on about stuff like this. But I'm making this video, quite frankly, to show you some of the bargains that I was able to pick up at a store called Savers. And Savers is along the lines, I guess, of a Goodwill, Salvation Army type store. I think it's, I don't go for the clothing and stuff like that. I get in there and I basically make a beeline for the media. I'm looking for albums, for vinyl, I'm looking for CDs, and occasionally looking at books. I might swing by the electronics section just to see what they have there. But let me show you some of the things that I was able to pick up. Generally, their CDs are $1.99. Their albums are typically $3.99. On Tuesdays, they do have a senior discount of, I think it's 30%. I'm a senior, but I'm working, so it's hard for me to get there on Tuesdays. And when you do go on a Tuesday, oh man, is it crowded. But anyway, since I am working, I have the money. I said, you know what? Let me just buy this stuff when I find it. So I'll show you some of the all of the CDs that I picked up and all of the vinyl. And forgive me, I still have the price stickers on these things. But first off, Spin Doctors. And I recently picked up another Spin Doctors CD because honestly, the only one I had was their first one, which was absolutely fantastic. But this is a retrospective. So this is a greatest hits of sorts. Although I never knew they had perhaps that many hits. But happy to have this. Look forward to listening to that. Then I picked up, and honestly, I might already have this, but I thought, for $1.99, I don't want to leave it on the shelf, get home and realize I do not have this. Robert Cray, Strong Persuader. And this was a fantastic album, is a fantastic album, but it was also a sort of crossover, and it really made Robert Cray more popular when this came out in, 80? Let's see if I can find it here. 86. So, great album. Then I picked up Carole King, Natural Woman. This is another collection. This is the Ode collection, and I can't read it backwards, so it says 1968 to 1976, Volume 2. You can pause that track listing if you'd like and take a look at it. Got 18 different songs here. Carole King is fantastic. You can never go wrong getting Carole King. Then I picked up a soundtrack to Reality Bites. And the reason I picked this up, quite frankly, is I don't know how long ago it was now, but I did a video on Lisa Loeb, and she had a hit with the song Stay. And Stay was actually one of the songs on this soundtrack. And that really made her popular, and it was sort of the reason why she was encouraged to make an album. Honestly, Stay really took off, and she came out of nowhere, basically. And it was like, all right, you know what? You've got a number one record, and we haven't even released a single or an album or anything. So fantastic. And I said, you know what? And the other songs on here, quite frankly, how can you go wrong? You have The Knack, My Sharona, always fun to listen to. The Juliana Hatfield, Spin the Bottle. World Party, When You Come Back to Me. The Posies, Going, Going, Gone. Lisa Loeb, of course, in 9 Stories, Stay. U2, All I Want Is You, Crowded House, Locked Out, Lenny Kravitz, Spinning Around Over You, Ethan Hawke, I'm Nothing, Dinosaur Jr., there's a name I haven't heard in a while, Turnip Farm, Squeeze, Tempted, and Big Mountain, Baby I Love Your Way. And then the last CD that I picked up is Toad the Wet Sprocket, Fear. And I have a Toad the Wet, I think I have 2 albums by them, but one of them is like a retrospective, a collection, basically. Again, one of these groups where you might be able to get away with just having a greatest hits collection. But, I was in the store and I said, you know what, I do like Toad the Wet Sprocket. So for $1.99, I'm giving this a chance. So I think it'll be good. And we turn to the vinyl. And as many of you know, I recently attended a concert in Westbury, what used to be called Westbury Music Fair, the NYCB Theater in Westbury or something like that. And there were 3 separate artists there. We had the Buckinghams, Gary Puckett of the Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, and then Peter Noon of Herman's Hermits. And all 3 were absolutely amazing. And seeing the concert was like seeing old friends again, quite frankly. When you hear these songs, it brings you back to a different time. In my case, a better time, a happier time. And it made me realize that, while I do have their greatest hits, and in some cases, like in the Buckinghams and Herman's Hermits, I had some other albums, I don't have enough, and I can't really do a deeper dive into their catalog. So I'm now looking to get some of those albums. So I had picked up in some other stores a Gary Puckett and the Union Gap album. I picked up a couple Buckingham albums. I picked up some Herman's Hermits. I almost called him Henry, Herman's Hermits. But while I'm in Savers, lo and behold, Gary Puckett and the Union Gap featuring Young Girl. And considering it was in Savers, where Savers is sort of, like this discounted, almost like a charity type store, it's in fairly decent condition. I mean, there's a lot of wear on the spine, unfortunately, but no obvious tears along here, which you sometimes see on other albums. But let me show you this track listing. Again, I haven't really taken a deep dive into Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, but when you see these songs, Young Girl leads off side 1. Lady Madonna, obviously you know the song. Kiss Me Goodbye, The Pleasure of You, Dreams of the Everyday Housewife, Glenn Campbell song, I'm Losing You. And then side 2 opens up with Honey, I Miss You, which I'm suspecting I believe is the Bobby Goldsboro song. The Mighty Quinn, Wait Till the Sun Shines on You, Sweet Sweet Baby, Since You've Been Gone, and Say You Don't Need Me. So I think I'm going to enjoy this album. It's only $3.99. Then I was able to pick up the Sandpipers. Not a group that you hear a lot about on YouTube, but I enjoy the Sandpipers. And this is their Spanish album. I'll show you the back. And the first song, Guantanamera, I don't know if you'll recognize that name, but if you heard the song, you'd probably know it. Then you have La Bamba, Extraño en la Noche. I'm not going to pretend to know Spanish. I'll let you read that. Louie Louie. And then on side 2, again, we've got some Cuando Salí de Cuba. And unfortunately, when I took the $3.99 sticker off to read the track listing, because I slapped it right over the track listing for side 2, it unfortunately tore this. But you have Michelle, the Beatles song. And then again, some Spanish songs. So I'm looking forward to listening to this, actually. And I kind of like this cover. I'm not sure what this has to do with Spain. I've never been to Spain, like Three Dog Night said. But, hey, they're on the water. So presumably they've got boats there. Then I picked up, and this is still in the shrink. It still has a hype sticker, and it still has the original store sticker. Corvettes. Price code F. And if you want to know what that is, you got to go see the price chart, which is long since gone. But England Dan and John Ford Coley, Nights Are Forever. Again, $3.99. Show you that track listing. So it's in really good shape, as is the vinyl. So I know I didn't pull out the other albums, but I got to show you this label. Big Tree. A label you don't see every day. That's why I pulled out to show you the label. And then because, let's face it, it's now early October. Christmas is right around the corner. Elvis's Christmas album, which I believe I already have on CD, perhaps. I don't think I have the vinyl, but Blue Christmas, Silent Night, White Christmas. Santa Claus is back in town. I'll be home for Christmas. If every day was like Christmas, I think Stephen Schnee would be happy. Here Comes Santa Claus, O Little Town of Bethlehem, Santa, Bring My Baby Back to Me, Mama Liked the Roses. So this will be a nice listen as the holidays approach. So that's it. The CDs and the vinyl, again, at Savers, relatively inexpensive. So happy to add this stuff to my collection. So that's it. Stay well, friends. And remember, if the music strikes a chord, let it play.